I bought my Spyder a little over 2 years ago. It is a 2015. It's a RT Limited. And back when I first bought it, I did a YouTube entitled I Bought a Spyder and went through some of my thoughts at that time and said that I would follow up. Well, it's 2 years later and this is a follow-up. The Spyder, as far as mechanical issues, I've had one. And that was early on when I had bought it, and it was a sensor that had gone out on it. Other than that, just haven't had an issue. Geez, so many things out there, and if you're thinking about buying a Spyder, I know how confusing it is, and I know how troubling it is that you can, boy, the cicadas are going crazy out here this morning, but you can just be terrified of it. I mean, there's so much out there about what went wrong. There's so much out there about, and it's true, that to get a repair shop, you can have a problem at that if you're, in certain parts of the country that you're just away. So those can be issues, but I can tell you at this point, I've just not had those. As far as what I've used the Spyder for, primary thing I've used the Spyder for is just to get out, go for a ride, enjoy a day. Just if I'm bored around the house, I've just got something I can go do. It's something I can run to the grocery store with. That's a good excuse to go for a ride. And we have taken it on several trips. Unlike some of the others that they do long trips, the kind of things that I did back when I was a couple years younger. But for me, I'm past that stage now. And where we have gone though, it's been a great thing to have with us. We've put the Spyder on a trailer, put it behind the motorhome, and we've traveled. In the 2 years since I've had the Spyder, we've been, the states we've been in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, New York, and we have been in Canada. So it's had its fair amount of riding, even though, no, we didn't ride it to get to all of those points. Some of the things that I've really enjoyed with the Spyder, just like this morning, I've ran to the grocery store, and as I got off, some guy hollers out his truck, something about, riding that Spyder. I've had this so many times. Twice this week, I was at a hardware store and a guy walked over, and I make it 3 times this week. At the hardware store, a guy walked over and told me how his wife had one that they had tricked out with all the neat lighting. And then at another place, a guy walked over telling me about his wife had one and asking me how much that I rode. It's campgrounds, it's just common that somebody will walk up. I've had people walk up asking, what is that? People walk up saying, geez, I wish I had something like that. Some that walked up and said, maybe it's time for me to get off of 2 wheels and go to 3. It could be any comments you can imagine. And I've had it even in parking lots in far off places to where people have just walked up and just to start conversation. It's pretty amazing how it does start a conversation. Several of the videos I've done, I discussed my learning to ride the Spyder. And in younger days, I rode motorcycles. I've ridden four-wheelers, three-wheelers, and truly thought nothing about this. Went and did the CanAm course where you rode around the parking lot, and honestly, it reminded me of driving a four-wheeler. Now, uh, after getting it, putting it on the highway, it's not a four-wheeler. It's not a motorcycle. It is a CanAm Spyder, and it handles differently than these other things. Some people, I don't think they have an issue with it. I think they hop on, they just get comfortable immediately. But I read enough posts from people telling me how it just seemed to go wherever it wanted to go, or just whatever. And so many that are asking, should I put sway bars under it? Should I do some other type of stabilizer? Should I change tires? Should I? And on and on and on. I have not done any of those, other than I did change tires on it, and I changed the tires on it because the tires that were on it were the tires that came on it when it was bought in 2015. And they looked brand new. It truly, it hurt to take those tires and take them off. But I've had enough issues with tires, particularly on campers, that I don't play with tires, and that was money I was glad to spend. I did do a front end alignment on it. Don't know that I can tell you that it made it ride any differently. The things that I can tell you, and truly, I hate it when I go and I see like Facebook Marketplace, and I'll find these things with just so few miles on them. Some of them a year or two old, and I just know that it's where someone, whether they'd ridden before or not, that they envisioned how much fun they could have. They bought it, and then they went out, rode, and they weren't comfortable with it. Then they didn't ride, and then after a period of time, it was just sitting, and so it had to go. I would encourage you that if you've not bought one, and maybe you're watching this trying to decide whether you want to buy one, a couple of things. First of all, make sure you have a place to keep it, because it really does need to be indoors. You can have it covered, but it's not the best way to be able to have it. Certainly, I would recommend to be able to keep it indoors. To be able to spend time, to be patient, to learn how to ride. I read so many things to where people talk about how they've gone out and had a bad experience, and I can appreciate that. If you go back to my first video, I talk about the concerns that I had with it. And the thing I can tell you, there are so many things about not squeezing the handlebars, not holding on tight, leaning into turns, and on and on and on. And there's truth in all of these things. But the number one thing is to be able to take the time to go out and ride, to find a place where you can just go ride comfortably, to be able to ride at your own pace, to ride at a pace that you feel like you're in control. When you begin to take it to a point to where you don't feel like you're in control of it, then that's where you're going to have your problem. If you go out and take your time, learn. I went out some old country roads, found turns, and I went through them over and over again to get a feel for it, to check my speed going through them. I found roads that truly I didn't like. It just scared me, and that I would be slowed down to 40, 45 miles per hour, and hoping a car wouldn't come from the other direction, because I just wasn't sure that I could stay in my lane. Well, same road today, I don't have those concerns anymore. Now, I'm not like some of the other guys that are out there that, they get out and run. I'm sure you've watched people like Coach Bob, Spyder Chris, uh, that, they go and they go for miles and miles on the bike, go through cities. That's something that I don't care to do. Not to a point, honestly, where I would be comfortable in it. Not so much that I'm not comfortable in driving the bike, but I'm not comfortable with the traffic that's around me there. And that's not what I bought it for. That's not what I want to do. I'll take it out from time to time and get in some, but it's just not where I want to live with it. During the time that I've had the bike, I've made some alterations to it. I've put the lights on it, which I really like, and particularly at night, it's just amazing what a visibility difference it is. Let's see, I've put on mount up here, dash mount for being able to put a camera up there or a phone or whatever. I've put backrest on, and this makes a world of difference. I think that if you're looking at one of the, maybe an F3 or something like that, they tend to sit a little lower. You tend to get down into the bike a bit. The RT, you tend to sit up on it. And the backrest, to me, makes it where I feel like I'm a bit more in the bike rather than on the bike. All of the things that I've put on it, also you can't see it from here, but I did put brake light, signal lights that are up here. Again, just all about the visibility. I did videos on the installation of all of these. I did do these installations on my own, and so far they've all worked well, so real pleased with that. As far as anything that I could tell you that I've truly regretted about buying it, I don't regret having bought a 10-year-old. I keep calling it a bike, and I do know it's not a bike, but a 10-year-old Spyder. Absolutely don't regret that a bit. This one only had 500 and something miles on it when I got it. It had already had all the fluids replaced in it, and it was just ready to go. And I know that I've read things where people talk about not to buy a 10-year-old because you can't get parts for it. Well, maybe that's when they change models on them. I don't know. But with the 15, of course, it came with the 1330cc engine. And it's the same engine that they're running today. There are parts out there. And I don't believe that that's an issue. I've managed to find a shop, an independent shop, and that's a big find. The cost of having things done such as oil change or annual checkup on it, tremendously lower than a factory shop. And as it turns out, the one that I found actually has a factory mechanic or a factory trained mechanic who does the work. And the in and out there was just great. For me, the RT model works for me. Now, I really I rode the Riker on the training course, and I thought it was just a blast. And I think the F3, I really like the looks of it. But for what I do, to be able to go out, to be able to find a place to put your groceries when you go to the grocery store, or if you go into some other store, a place where you can put the items that you purchase, or if you want to carry a jacket with you, or if you want to carry camera equipment with you, you've got the space on one of these. Now, admittedly, on the newer models, they come with even more space. That would be a nice feature. But the one regret that I can tell you that I would give, I wish I'd done it sooner. Maybe this video will help you if you're trying to make a decision about whether to buy or not to buy, whether a Spyder is right for you or just not right for you. I would encourage you to do the training course. If you could get so fortunate as to find somebody that has a Spyder after you get your motorcycle endorsement, that you get an opportunity to drive it, it would help you so much to be able to make a buying decision. Unfortunately, it's just kind of the way it works out that you don't get much of a chance when you go to buy one at a dealership. Now, CanAm does offer a deal where they go around different shops and they do an opportunity to drive these different ones. If you could find one of those, that would even be better. So I would encourage you as much as possible, try to get a feel for one before you go out and make the investment. Hopefully this video will be of some help to you in making your buying decision. Thank you for watching.